Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the preview party for the SPCA Tampa Bay Paw It Forward Fun Drive. I'm SPCA Tampa Bay Ambassador Dale Badway.
And I'm Colleen Cherry, and folks, that's Emmy Award-winning Dale Badway.
And that's Colleen Cherry. She's a singer, songwriter, actor. You know, she's written more songs for animals than Barry Manilow. She writes the songs that make the kittens sing.
Thank you, Dale, and welcome everyone. I'm also a staff member at SPCA Tampa Bay, and I can tell you there's no organization more passionate about animals and the people who love them than SPCA Tampa Bay, our For All shelter.
This is a group of staff, volunteers, board members, and donors who have deep roots in our community. They are dedicated to nurturing, strengthening, and celebrating the special relationship between animals and humans. All are welcome here, and they have been for over 80 years.
Born in St. Petersburg, SPCA Tampa Bay has been spreading the humanimality for 80 years. We are a For All shelter that advocates for all animals in the community.
You know us for our animals. We help our shelter pets find their forever home by working to match families with animals that are a good fit with their home, lifestyle, and personality.
Before surrendered or transferred animals reach the adoption floor, we give them an exam to make sure that they're healthy.
We're also here to help your family's pets with healthcare at our veterinary center.
We also know that sometimes people can no longer care for their pets. Big dogs, little dogs, cute cats, pigs, goats, we accept them all.
And we're here for orphan wildlife when they're found in our community. We rehab and release rabbits, possums, and so much more.
We're also there with other organizations, such as first responders, to help save animals from impending storms and abuse.
We work with other organizations locally and regionally to transfer in animals to find them forever homes.
And we're here to connect you socially by sharing stories from the catwalk
to their walk home.
So get involved, foster, volunteer, but most of all, donate. Learn more about us online.
We are For All.
So what is our Paw It Forward Fund Drive? Now, many of you may remember back in 2019, you remember 2019? We celebrated the spirit of giving with our amazing Hooray for Hollywood Furball. And we raised a lot of funds for SPCA Tampa Bay. In fact, that event raised over $230,000 for animal in need and the team who cares for them.
Unfortunately, like many other charities, we canceled our furball.
What?
I know.
Wait. We canceled our furball? Can cats cancel furballs?
Those are hairballs, Dale, and no, they can't. But last year, we looked for another way to raise those much-needed funds. We needed an event that would allow us to socially distance and spread the humanimality.
Now, we are proud to introduce the Paw It Forward Fund Drive. It's the sequel, part 2. Now, what better way to express our gratitude for the love of our pets that they show us during these trying times and to make sure that the SPCA Tampa Bay is able to care for homeless pets and the sick and injured wildlife now and, of course, in the future.
You may have already seen some of our digital ads and commercials culminating on November 4th. SPCA Tampa Bay and our amazing sponsors like First Home Bank and Hills Pet Nutrition are helping us air hundreds of commercials throughout the Tampa Bay media market. We'll be asking our community to donate and paw it forward.
Ooh, I get it. Paw it forward. Paw it forward. Colleen, this is huge!
I know!
And do you know why it's so big? Because each gift made on November 4th will be matched by the sponsors that have signed on to support this fund drive. So, every dollar donated becomes 2.
So let's talk about these amazing companies from all over the United States who have signed on to match your gifts. Presenting sponsor, Hills Pet Nutrition, has partnered with SPCA Tampa Bay for decades. They sponsor our events like the Pet Walk, provide us with significant discounts on pet food, and send adopters home with starter kits to smooth pets' transition into their new homes.
Colleen, but this year they stepped it up and to support homeless animals like never before. And more information on that on Giving Tuesday. SPCA Tampa Bay is proud to be a Hills Shelter partner.
SPCA Tampa Bay is a for-all shelter and pet hospital. Being a for-all shelter means that SPCA Tampa Bay will not limit admission or refuse to take an animal in need. They are for all shapes, colors, species, breeds, ages, and situations. All are welcome at SPCA Tampa Bay. When you make a gift, your gift will be matched to provide twice as much life-saving care. Paw it forward with Hills Pet Nutrition. Text, call, or donate online.
Imagine finding your way without your eyesight to guide you. This was the case for Blind Mouse, a 2-year-old gray tabby cat. She arrived at SPCA Tampa Bay with a chronic condition, and both eyes had to be removed by our medical team. When an animal arrives at our for-all shelter with unique needs, it's the community support and donors that make it possible for us to provide specialized care. You can help cats and other animals like her by donating to SPCA Tampa Bay. Paw it forward on November 4th. Now, the videos you're about to see tell the story of our For All Strong shelter staff and some of the programs this event is supporting. You'll also meet our other presenting sponsor, First Home Bank.
In March of last year, our SPCA Tampa Bay Shelter and Veterinary Center were declared essential services, and we remained open while the lockdown brought our community to a standstill. Today, our team is still social distancing and caring for homeless pets and hundreds of sick and injured wildlife brought to us by the public.
Also, our heroic team responded to other animal organizations in need, like the Louisiana SPCA. Not only did our staff help transfer 35 adoptable pets to Largo during hurricane season, they also traveled to New Orleans to help relieve the Louisiana SPCA team and care for their animals in need.
That's amazing. This response would not have been possible without our generous sponsors like you. You know, SPCA Tampa Bay is excited to welcome First Home Bank as a presenting sponsor for our Paw It Forward Fund Drive. Part of our community since 1999, First Home Bank is a true community bank, welcoming everyone from children, families, retirees, small business owners, and pets too.
Yeah.
You know, my dogs are looking at refinancing their doghouse.
Oh yeah, my dog's looking to get her first mortgage, you know? So check out these stories on our wildlife team, hurricane response team, and First Home Bank's For All commercial with our favorite mascot, Cash.
Ooh.
SPCA Tampa Bay is a for-all shelter and pet hospital. Being for all, shelter means that SPCA Tampa Bay will not limit admission or refuse to take an animal in need. They are for all shapes, sizes, species, breeds, ages, and situations. All are welcome at SPCA Tampa Bay. When you make a gift to SPCA Tampa Bay, your gift will be matched to provide twice as much life-saving care. Paw it forward with First Home Bank. Text, call, or donate online.
When Hurricane Ida struck the Gulf Coast, SPCA Tampa Bay was there, working with our partners to serve alongside them in their time of need and to help relocate animals to safety. As a for-all shelter and pet hospital, we transform the lives of animals and serve the community in Tampa Bay, and this year, Louisiana, because that's what a for-all shelter does. When you make a gift to SPCA Tampa Bay today, you will be providing twice as much life-saving support to animals in our care. Paw it forward. Text, call, or donate online.
I also want to thank leadership for allowing myself, Cheryl, Caitlin, and Jordan to have this incredible experience that I think is very unique. And although as southern states we do see a lot of hurricane disaster, I think each situation is unique and just very grateful and humbling that we got to experience it. It was a little disheartening to look at.
Yeah, as we were driving to the shelter, it was seeing a lot of tarps on the houses and just the damage and the landscape like gone or leveled.
Like it felt eerie.
Yeah, almost felt like
eerie.
like a
disaster had just happened.
Yeah.
Interesting experience. And then when we finally got to the shelter, like we hit the floor running and just started working.
We dove right in.
I think the majority of the animals that we were seeing, because they weren't open for admissions.
Yeah,
and so they didn't have intake. So a lot of the animals that were coming through were either through their field services or strays. But there was 2 white German Shepherds there named Romeo and Juliet.
Yep.
And I remember walking through and saying, these are going to be 2 dogs that if we transfer with them, we will bring them back to our shelter.
Yep.
Because they were shut down, but they were sweet. They weren't aggressive. They weren't coming at us. And one of the male was much younger. And as soon as I said that, the universe took that, and the following day they got reclaimed by their owner. So that was.
And funny story about
really
that
cool.
is they were housed separately, but next to each other in separate cages. And one day I said, they came in together, let's take them out together. And, you see them in there and they're kind of shut down and kind of scared, and you take them out and they're playing with each other, romping with each other, and jumping. And so it was nice just to kind of see that them getting back together, they were good.
Towards the end of one of our days there was this tiny little pitty puppy that had come in, very emaciated. His ears were, for lack of a better term, they were butchered. They were not cropped correctly. It was not done well, if you want to even say that. And he came in, and I found out that his story was that he had been left in a dumpster outside of an apartment complex. I'm talking about tiny little pitty. And I was outside the next morning or the day after that, and we were talking about him, and I was like, we should name him Oscar after Sesame Street. And they named him Oscar.
That was his name.
And he got adopted out through one of our Florida shelter partners. Coming back here and just being so extremely grateful for what we have, and fortunate that we, have not gone through disaster like that. And just very grateful for our leadership that allows us to do this and to experience this. And also just very grateful for the teams we have created. Very content with how we've made our culture and how we've made our teams grow and the people that we have that work with us, and just this enormous amount of gratitude.
Yes.
We're not perfect.
By no means. I don't think anybody is.
Yeah. And
there's always room for improvement.
I really love it here.
I love hearing about the dedicated work that we've done in Louisiana and other places that were hit by disasters. Making a difference is what we're all about at SPCA Tampa Bay, and it's because of donors like you that we're in a position to help. Hi, my name's Carrie O'Brien, and I am very proud to serve as board president at SPCA Tampa Bay. And this little girl is Ren, who I adopted from SPCA Tampa Bay back in February of 2020. So believe it or not, Ren wasn't always this fluffy and beautiful. She was found as a stray, wandering out in a field, her backside covered with flea bites, and she was thin and her belly was all inflamed. But fortunately, she was brought to SPCA Tampa Bay, where she received excellent care from the kind and compassionate staff there. I was fortunate enough to serve as Ren's foster mom, but I think our family knew within minutes that she had found her forever home. I first got connected to SPCA Tampa Bay many years ago, back when my previous dog, Molly, needed a little help with her manners. So I took her to the Sniff U classes that were offered at the Largo shelter at the time. And I was so impressed by everybody that I met. The staff, the volunteers, everyone was so kind and so compassionate. I think there's a myth that some people have that shelters are sad or depressing places, but I think for all of us who have visited SPCA Tampa Bay,
we know that's not the truth. That it's a place that's filled with joy and hope and love. And yes, Molly did eventually learn to behave, mostly. So over the years, I was fortunate enough to get even more connected to SPCA Tampa Bay. And today I'm just so grateful for the many services that it provides in our community, from the heroic work being done at the Largo Shelter to the excellent life-saving medical care that's delivered at our SPCA Tampa Bay Veterinary Center. None of that would be possible without the help of people like you. So on behalf of the Board of Directors, I'd like to say thank you for all that you do.
You know, Colleen, SPCA Tampa Bay is not merely an adoption agency for cats and dogs. We love and we care for all kinds of animals, even unusual and exotic species like birds, reptiles, rabbits, pigs, and wildlife. We help all these animals and we find their way home, either returning them to the wild or finding them a loving and forever home.
To us, every adoption is an opportunity to create a forever home and a chance to celebrate the unconditional love between animals and humans. Even after adoption, we continue to serve as experienced guides throughout all the aspects of an animal's welfare, offering education, training, and medical care. Our sponsors have locked arms with us to ensure we can continue to protect animals from homelessness, illness, neglect, and abuse.
SPCA Tampa Bay is a for-all shelter and pet hospital.
Being a for-all shelter means that SPCA Tampa Bay will not limit admission or refuse to take in an animal in need. They are for all shapes, colors, species, breeds, ages, and situations.
All are welcome at SPCA Tampa Bay.
When you make a gift to SPCA Tampa Bay, your gift will be matched to provide twice as much life-saving care.
Paw it forward with Lima Construction. Text, call, or donate online.
Imagine being a dog at a shelter and you can't see anything. That's Diesel's story when he came to SPCA Tampa Bay. But he didn't let a few obstacles get him down. He put his best paw forward and melted our hearts. Thanks to donors like you, Diesel's story continues with a wonderful family, providing this big guy the special life he deserves. You can help other animals like Diesel by donating today to SPCA Tampa Bay. Paw it forward to the animals in our care on November 4th. Donate online, text, or call.
I'm Ashley, the Intake Services Assistant Manager here at the SPCA Tampa Bay. The number of animals coming into our wildlife program each day varies. So for example, during possum and bird season, we could have upwards of 20 plus animals coming into our shelter, whereas during squirrel season, our program probably sees roughly 10 on average because their litters are a lot smaller. We are caring for about 40 to 60 animals in our wildlife program. Currently, the species included in our wildlife rehabilitation program includes small mammals such as possums, eastern gray squirrels, southern flying squirrels, rabbits, and then songbirds like blue jays, mockingbirds, grackles, and doves. It's different caring for wildlife versus domestic animals because we are closely monitored by the state and also at a federal level, since there are certain cage requirements we need to have for each individual species. We also are a lot different because we have to have limited interaction with them and we can't handle them too much so they don't imprint and rely on humans when it's time for them to be released back into the wild. A day in the life of our wildlife rehabilitation program starts off with our wildlife technicians coming in bright and early to start cleaning and feeding all of our animals. And then you'll see in our time-lapse video of our squirrels in our pre-release enclosure that they are super active during the day because they're learning how to climb, they're learning how to dig for food, and exercising and just figuring out their bearings. The big box on the wall is a hide house. It's to replicate something like a tree. So when they're out in the wild, they're going to search for something similar to that to hide inside and to feel safe in. The future of our wildlife rehabilitation program here at the SPCA Tampa Bay is to hopefully start working with more and more species as our resources allow.
SPCA Tampa Bay is a for-all shelter and pet hospital. Being a for-all shelter means that SPCA Tampa Bay will not limit admission or refuse to take in an animal in need. They are for all shapes, colors, species, breeds, ages, and situations. All are welcome at SPCA Tampa Bay. When you make a gift to SPCA Tampa Bay, your gift will be matched to provide twice as much life-saving care. Paw it forward with CenterGrid and Ninja RMM. Text, call, or donate online.
SPCA Tampa Bay has stood as a pillar of animal advocacy in Tampa Bay for more than 80 years. Through multiple locations, countless battles for animal welfare, and joyful adoptions, our passion for our cause continues to burn brightly.
We are a fixture in the community, offering support for pet owners, education to the public, and programs that both foster and enrich the deep connection between humans and animals. We are healers, advocates, guardians, and guides.
Our sponsors understand the critical role we play in our community, and they encourage their employees and clients to volunteer at SPCA, helping with special events, walking dogs, comforting cats, fostering sick animals, and so much more.
I completely agree. As our volunteer champion, our volunteers are a critical part of our success. You may even get to talk with one tonight if you call to make a gift. Right now, text, call, or donate to the numbers in the online site. Just $25 will provide care for animals at our 4-All shelter.
I say $250.
There you go.
Many of the sponsors you've seen represented here tonight are part of the 60+ companies that join SPCA Tampa Bay for Pet Walk every year. One of my favorites. Pet Walk was a blast in 2021. And mark your calendar for April 2nd and visit petwalk.org for the latest information.
SPCA Tampa Bay is a 4-All shelter and pet hospital.
Being a 4-All shelter means that SPCA Tampa Bay will not limit admission
or refuse to take an animal in need.
They are for all shapes, colors, species, breeds, ages, and situations.
All are welcome at SPCA Tampa Bay.
When you make a gift to SPCA Tampa Bay,
your gift will be matched to provide twice as much life-saving care.
Paw it forward to the animals in our care on November 4th. Donate online, text, or call. Ethel's life was hanging by a thread. Struck by a car after escaping her yard, this 8-month-old puppy was rushed to our veterinary center. She needed emergency surgery if she was ever going to walk again. Unable to support her long recovery, her elderly owner surrendered Ethel to SPCA Tampa Bay. Because of caring donors like you, we were able to save this sweet dog. When you make a gift to SPCA Tampa Bay today, you will be providing twice as much life-saving care to animals in our community. Text, call, or donate online.
As an independent organization, we are not affiliated with any national organizations like ASPCA or the Humane Society. We have donors and volunteers from all over the Tampa Bay area, and we are so grateful to each and every one of you.
This event has attracted sponsors with headquarters in Missouri and Ohio, just to name a few. And those sponsors will be matching the gifts you make tonight, as well as the donations made on November 4th.
At the end of the day, you're another day older. However, it's all about the animals and the people who love and care for them, like you. As a 4-All shelter, we will never turn away any animal that needs us. Now, for our final segment, let's hear from our wonderful SPCA Tampa Bay CEO, Martha Bowden.
Thank you for joining us tonight, and thank you, Colleen and Dale, for such a wonderful job helping our community learn more about our 4-All shelter and pet hospital. We are so fortunate to have Colleen as a member of our staff and Dale as an ambassador and super advocate for our mission. A huge thank you to our sponsors, Hills Pet Nutrition, First Home Bank, CenterGrid, Ninja RMM, and Lima Construction, and all the others you can see listed on our sponsor page. Now, before I sign off, I'm going to ask you for 2 things. First, that you join us and donate today. Your gift will be matched by our sponsors and goes directly to help animals in need and the staff and volunteers that care for them. You can call, text, or go online right now. Second, please spread the word about the Paw It Forward Fund Drive. This campaign will raise critical funds for SPCA Tampa Bay and help thousands of animals who need love and support. The more you share this message, the more funds we'll be able to raise. If you tuned in, I'm guessing you know or have known the love of an animal in your life. Certainly, the unconditional love of our dogs and cats can bring immense comfort. What better way to honor that love than to paw it forward with a gift to SPCA Tampa Bay. Thank you for joining us.
All shapes, colors, species, breeds, ages, situations, welcome here. Shelter care training, so pets are safe and healthy. We're here for you, have no fear. A place for our community, for creatures big and small. SPCA Tampa Bay for all. Dogs, cats, pocket pets, reptiles, livestock, birds and wildlife too. No matter where you come from or what you've been through, we are here for you. A place for our community, for creatures big and small. SPCA Tampa Bay for all.